afternoon of severe weather starting at noon all the way up to now with numerous severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings and confirmed tornadoes. The very latest on what's on Radar 3000 and what you can expect this evening, I'll let you know.
And viewers from around the area sent us their images and videos. We'll share those with you and cover storm damage.
Well, you are watching News 3 Now live at 4. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We hope everyone has stayed safe out there.
That's right. We continue to bring you the latest updates on tornadoes and warnings throughout the viewing area. We have this video coming from a viewer in Sauk City. We want to thank you to Nick Forsland for sending this in. And, of course, please send these in carefully.
And this next video is from Iowa County. You can see out there in the rural area, if you look off into the distance, you can see a kind of a funnel formation just above that white structure there. Thank you to the viewer who sent this one in too. Now let's get to our team coverage of storm damage and the current conditions out there.
That's right. Tanisha Shaw is in Dodgeville. And of course, our chief meteorologist, Alex Harrington, is in the studio with the current conditions. We start there with a quick look at what's going on right now, Alex.
Right now, we have one severe thunderstorm warning right now, just one severe thunderstorm warning after a whole afternoon of tornado warnings primarily. And this severe thunderstorm warning goes until 4:30 p.m. for the far southeast part of Columbia County, pretty much all of Dodge County, and then the far southeast part of Green Lake County. We will put a quick track on this storm as it moves through the Beaver Dam area off towards the north and towards the east into communities that were already tornado warned near the Mayville area, near the Hubbard area. As this moves off towards the northeast, this will bring this into Juneau at 4:11, the Waupun area at 4:13 p.m., Horicon Marsh at 4:18 p.m., and then over towards the Farmersville area as it nears the expiration of that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, winds potentially gusting upwards of 60 miles per hour with this line of thunderstorms. I'm going to take a quick peek at that. If there's any damaging winds with this, likely north of the Beaver Dam area at this point in time. Further to the south, we did have a severe thunderstorm warning for the east part of Dane County and the west part of Jefferson County. That currently has allowed to expire, and we're seeing that according to our National Weather Service feed as well. This whole line of thunderstorms moving off towards the east, it could become severe warned or tornado warned at any point in time along this line. Again, Waupun 4:13 p.m. and the Horicon Marsh at 4:19. We have a tornado watch in effect for much of southern Wisconsin as we still see additional cells potentially popping up in southwest Wisconsin, and those cells with the rotation that we have in the atmosphere will have to keep a very close eye on those storms. But those storms should be completely out of the area by the time we get towards 7, 8, 9 o'clock. That would certainly be good news for what has been an entire afternoon of severe weather in southern Wisconsin. And Blaze and I will keep a very close eye on things, and we'll let folks know here if we have any additional warnings throughout the newscast.
All right, thank you so much, Alex. And now let's head to Tanisha Shaw, who is in Dodgeville.
Good afternoon, Tanisha. How is it out there and what can you tell us?
Hi, Brady and Sarah. As you said, I am here in Dodgeville, and I'm going to let you get a look at what's around me. So I spoke to neighbors who said there are 27 trees down. Take a look at this branch. You can just see the bark, literally the layers all on the ground. And take a look like this. It goes all the way to here, where you can see it standing up just by the bark. This is like truly remarkable and crazy that this branch is still even standing up right here. And then if we take a look right here to my left, then you can see another tree on the ground. And then if you look throughout this area right here, there's more trees just on the ground from the storm today. And again, let me tell you, when I talked to the residents, they said they invested so much time in these trees, making sure it's eco-friendly and making sure that it was right for their neighborhood. So they said it was truly depressing for this to happen within like 30 minutes. Let's continue to take a look. Back here you can see another tree down. And let me tell you, me and my photographer, we drove all throughout this wooded area. It's very residential, so it's hard to see from the main road. But so many trees as we were driving up this road. And I talked to residents. I'm going to have more from them in the next 30 minutes.
All right, thank you, Tanisha. Yeah, it's very sad to see, and we're also learning of other damage in Sauk City.
Our Ellie La Liberté is there now with a look.
We are on County Y, just south of Sauk City, where we found the most damage in this area so far. I'm going to show you a little bit of what we're seeing here. This roof behind me here, this was an enclosed porch in the front of this house. It's now flown to the backyard, crushed this fence. You can see where the roofing, the siding, and you can see that gutter just completely ripped out. Now, the most shocking thing over here is this used to be a pool. And now it's filled with debris. We see parts of what looks like a roof, a wall. You can see the nails still sticking out from this roof, which was up top here. Now, I talked with the homeowner a little bit ago. She was telling me that she is just happy that she's alive. She said they sheltered in place when they got that tornado warning, which is exactly what you want to do in situations like this. The neighbors in this area have some damage as well, but everyone is safe. And now these neighbors are coming out to help her to pick up these pieces. We can hear this chainsaw in the background here as people try to now rebuild. Reporting outside Sauk City, Elila Liberté, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you, and we are very glad to hear everyone is safe. As always, you can track storms for yourself with the First Warn Weather app. It has hourly planners and radar. You can download this for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather.
We have more team coverage ahead, but first we have some breaking news. The 67-year-old missing and endangered woman, Dorinda Sagebrecht from Dodgeville, has died. The Iowa County Sheriff's Office says she was last seen on Monday. Police started looking into her disappearance the next day. The 67-year-old's car was identified and located in Nebraska. State Patrol there arrested the driver this morning. In that car, they also found her body. We are expecting an update from law enforcement later on Live at 4. And we now know the name of the man who died after crashing into a semi Monday morning near Stoughton. The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office says 37-year-old David Dewey of Janesville died at the scene along I-3990 on U.S. Highway 51. The DOT says Dewey's SUV crashed into a semi that was stopped on the right shoulder just before 6 in the morning on Monday. The State Patrol is investigating this incident.
A new age restriction will be going into effect at the Goodman Pool starting tomorrow. All children ages 11 to 15 will now need to have an adult with them in order to go to the pool. Now, the old rule used to be that kids 10 and under needed to be with an adult. A representative of Goodman Pool tells News 3 Now the decision was in part made due to bad behavior from kids that age. That rule will be in place until further notice.
Well, just like it's hard to put down a good book, one longtime Madisonian couldn't let Paul's bookstore on State Street go from the city it called home for more than 70 years.
And our Arman Rahman shows us how he kept the essence of the Madison staple alive.
It's been roughly 5 months since the chapter closed on Paul's bookstore on State Street, but one Madisonian has continued the story on Farwell Street. You could call it an epilogue.
It could be a sequel if all goes well.
That's what August McGinnity Wake, or Augie, wants his new basement bookstore to become. After he heard Paul's was closing after 70 years, he worked out a deal with the longtime owners, the Askins family, to buy the hardcover fiction and literary criticism sections. About 2,000 books that he moved in during the winter. He said the Askins also gave him other supplies, including the original bookshelves, which he says he remembers spending hours perusing as a UW student at Paul's.
I think I speak for a lot of Madisonians, specifically a lot of UW alumni, when I say that store meant the world to me. I do feel a responsibility to keep a piece of Paul's alive here in Madison.
He's doing that by selling book by book online through eBay and his Instagram, Augie's Books, where you can also message him to ask about coming by to browse his new collection. Reporting in Madison, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand, thank you. Definitely a special memory for us UW alum. Driftless Books, an independent bookstore in Viroqua, bought the bulk of Paul's inventory right after they closed.
Well, later on Live at 4, Lisa Briggs will stop by our studio to answer your plant questions. Please send them to us over email at tips@channel3000.com. Lisa will join us in our next half hour.
Well, Dane County is seeing an increase in drug overdoses.
The resources that are available if you need help, coming up later.
Plus, Alex returns with a complete look at your First Warn weather forecast.
And continuing coverage of the tornadoes that we saw earlier in the viewing area, we'll show you the video sent to us from our viewers. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Live at 4, everyone. Thanks so much for sticking with us.
Yeah, we've had a big day here around the area. Let's get a look at some of the weather video that we've received from our viewers. Now, this is from Augie Daughtry. It's west of County Road H, north of Ridgeway. Thank you for sending that in. And yeah, those clouds do not look very friendly at all, do they?
No, and we were just talking during the commercial break about how we're grateful for all of these videos and pictures, but we want to make sure viewers and others are staying safe when they're taking them and then getting back inside to a sturdy place. We also have another video from Katie and Joey near Dodgeville.
Hey, Maggie.
We want to say thank you for sending this in. If you have any images or videos, again, that you'd like to share, again, safely, but send them to tips@channel3000.com. And to Wall Street now. We have the Dow, the Dow gaining 231 points. The Nasdaq is up 53. The S&P is up 20.
Well, President Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi are under rising pressure from members of both parties to reveal everything from the Jeffrey Epstein case.
Even Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, an important Trump ally, says the public should see these files. Reporter Scott McFarlane is at the Justice Department.
President Trump defended Attorney General Pam Bondi Tuesday while suggesting some files related to Jeffrey Epstein could be released.
Credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
Trump supporters have accused Bondi of withholding Epstein records after the Department of Justice released an unsigned memo last week saying the convicted sex offender didn't have a client list and they wouldn't disclose any more information. House Speaker Mike Johnson, a strong Trump ally, is calling for more transparency.
It's a very delicate subject, but we should put everything out there and let the people decide it.
Bondi helped fuel conspiracy theories when asked in February about an Epstein client list.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
And while she's tried to clarify she was referring to the Epstein file, Speaker Johnson says she needs to do more.
I don't know that she was specific about a list or whatever, but she needs to come forward and explain that to everybody.
Tuesday, Bondi declined to answer a series of questions about the controversy.
Nothing about Epstein. I'm not going to talk about Epstein.
Then told CBS News she's not leaving her position, as some have called for her to do.
I'm going to be here for as long as the president wants me here, and I believe he's made that crystal clear. It's 4 years, well, 3.5 now, right?
While on Capitol Hill, both the president's supporters and opponents are fueling this political fire.
All the documents should all be public. I think it all ought to be out in the open.
The bottom line is they should release the files now.
Scott McFarlane, CBS News, the Justice Department.
Now coming up on Live at 4, a spike in overdoses in Dane County.
The resources available to you when we're back.
We have had a busy day here at News 3. Let's head back to the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington.
Yes, very busy indeed. Still busy. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Dodge County and the southeast part of Green Lake County. That goes until 4:30 p.m. So we have about another 10 minutes on that severe thunderstorm. A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for the southern part of Dodge County. This would include Watertown, Johnson Creek, and Jefferson County, heading east towards the Sullivan area. We'll do a wide track on this line of thunderstorms that has a history of being tornado warned and damaging winds, again extending from all the way from Dodge County right down through Jefferson County. So Jefferson 4:23 p.m., Hubbard 4:27 p.m., Mayville 4:28 p.m. You had recently seen tornado warned storms not too long ago, and then eventually heading over towards the Sullivan radar in Jefferson County right around 4:43 p.m. Again, these are winds gusting upwards of 60 miles per hour, but we will keep a close eye on the potential if there's any brief spin-ups along the leading edge of that line. Here in Dane County, keeping an eye on showers in the area, a couple rumbles of thunder. Why are we keeping an eye on these? As these showers and thunderstorms continue to be in an unstable air mass, the potential is there that some of these storms could become severe. We have that tornado watch in effect for Camp Douglas to Lone Rock, including Madison, Monroe, Janesville, and Watertown. That goes until 6 p.m. this evening, and we are expecting a few more scattered thunderstorms to pop up, and any of those storms could become severe. But the good news is that all of this is out of here by the time we get to 8, 9 o'clock. That moves out over Lake Michigan. To show you the sheer number of tornado warnings that we had just this afternoon, and this is as of 4 p.m. Wednesday, take note of all the tornado warnings stretching from Iowa County up into Sauk and Columbia County, and then another area of tornado warned storms that started in Greene County, came up into Dane County, and then went up into Jefferson and Dodge County. These are a family of tornado producing storms that we call supercells. We've seen a number of these this afternoon, and impressive photos and impressive videos. Again, alert day conditions lasting from a time frame period up to about 7 p.m. this evening is when we can continue to expect to see the threat for severe weather. Good news. Concerts on the Square. I want to acknowledge that that is tomorrow evening, to the last of my knowledge, and I've got a beautiful day in the forecast for you. Skies will clear out. It's going to be refreshingly cool, quiet, nothing like today, with temperatures in the lower 70s, so you might even need to bundle up just a bit for concerts on the square. Maybe have that jacket with a high of only 71 on Thursday, 77 on Friday, so 2 days of pleasant weather, and then we'll turn the humidity back on and a little bit warmer temperatures as we head out into the future, and staying unsettled, hopefully not as unsettled as today.
All right, thank you, Alex. Public Health in Madison, Dane County have issued a health alert due to a spike in drug overdoses.
From July 13th to the 14th, there were 5 confirmed overdose response calls from EMS. It's more activity than we usually see here in the area, and it's still unknown what's driving the spike, but resources are available. Joining us now to talk about that, Ramona Gomez from Safe Communities. Hi, thanks for being on with us. You know, I always want to start when we hear about people who struggle with substance use disorder or any type of addiction. They're not just numbers. Someone loves them. They are human beings. Do you keep that to the forefront of the work that you do?
Oh, always. I always remember, like, they're somebody's family, somebody's brother, somebody's sister, like all those things.
Yeah. Very unexpected too. So what could have caused such a sudden spike? I mean, you can guess, I know, but as the expert, what could have caused that?
I mean, a lot of things, you know. It could be a bad batch. It could be, you know, maybe when dealers are doing it, they're putting extra things in there. Like, we really don't know.
Yeah, and I know one of the big concerns here in Dane County and all over, and you alluded to it, dealers, cartels lacing things with fentanyl. That seems to be driving a lot of these things.
Oh, 100%. Like, even, you know, I always say kids are going to do what they're going to do. People are going to do what they're going to do, but let's teach them harm reduction. Like, even test your weed. You never know, like, what could be in it.
And there's a fentanyl test, which is something many people don't know about.
So we carry these around, like, I always keep them in my backpack when I'm at work because it's an easy test. Like, they give you everything that you need to test it, even directions on the back to make sure, like, you're getting what you're getting.
Again, we don't want to say go and do illegal drugs, but if somebody out there has a problem and needs to test that first, it can save a life.
100%. Same with the Narcan, like, never use alone is a big thing. And again, like, not saying to go and use, but like, you're gonna do it regardless. Like, let's try to be safe so somebody doesn't have to call your mom and to let them know.
And I've noticed, you know, in the conversations that we've had with officials here, including Safe Communities, increasing access to Narcan, and Narcan is basically a fentanyl reversal in these situations when you see someone having suffering from fentanyl poisoning. I see there are vending machines. You can find them at different community resources. Has increasing access to these life-saving things, has that been a big priority?
I think so. I think it's a really big one to people to know that they can just go and get it and they don't have to feel like shame. Like, if people come into our office, we don't ask any questions. We just give them the Narcan.
Also, we were reading about how the heat may actually be playing a role in this.
Yeah.
Like, so many overdoses in a couple of days. How is that possible?
Well, I don't really have an answer for that one, but I would assume that not drinking enough water, you know, dehydration, all that.
Yeah.
Well, and before we go, we have an available 24/7 Safe Communities hotline up there. People can call 608-228-1278. If they need any extra help, they can find someone.
Yeah, they can. We work on that 24/7, 7 days a week. We get calls from hospitals and we go into the ER and sit with that person in a time of need.
Very good.
And anybody can call that number.
Anybody can.
Good to know.
Ramona, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you
for joining us. Well, communities across our viewing area, as you heard us talk about earlier, saw tornadoes this afternoon.
We'll share videos of the storms and the damage when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4.
We have a lot to get to today. It's been a busy one.
It sure has. We have team coverage of storm damage.
Tanisha Shaw is in Dodgeville, and of course our chief meteorologist Alex Harrington is in the studio with the current conditions. Let's get straight to your first warm weather forecast with Alex.
Yeah, a little good news here. One of the severe thunderstorm warnings has been allowed to be canceled for the good portion of Dodge County up into Green Lake County, and it sounds like we have some additional information that we need to relay. Brady and Sarah.
Yeah, we'll get back to you in a moment, Alex, but first we have some breaking news in Dodgeville. Law enforcement officials are holding a news conference on a woman who was considered missing and endangered earlier this week. It looks like they are just starting. The Iowa County Sheriff's Office confirmed only hours ago she was found dead in Nebraska. Law enforcement arrested someone there as they are just prepping for this news conference, we can start to take a listen. We'll give them a few more moments, but of course we've been following this online at channel3000.com and on our mobile app as well. Of course, this is a big news on a busy weather day. Here we go, they're getting started now.
B-R-A-N-D-O-N. Is it okay if I? Yes. Just wait for a second. Okay, you should be good. All right. Good. I'll restart. Good afternoon. My name is Brandon Wilhelm. That's B-R-A-N-D-O-N-W-I-L-H-E-L-M. I am the Chief of the Dodgeville Police Department, providing an update in the case that we've been working on since yesterday involving a missing person. On July 15th, 2025, at 7:51 p.m., the Dodgeville Police Department responded to a welfare check at 309 East Division Street in the city of Dodgeville. Upon arrival, officers made contact with family members who reported that 67-year-old Deborah Ray Sigebret had not been heard from since approximately 11 a.m. on the 15th. Officers investigating the scene determined that circumstances and evidence suggested that Deborah had potentially not left her residence on her own volition. Her vehicle was also not located at the scene, and crime alerts were disseminated to law enforcement agencies to attempt to locate that vehicle. That vehicle was a 2020 black Hyundai Kona SUV. It was bearing Wisconsin registration A Adam X X-ray G George 8066. Throughout the evening of July 15th and the early morning hours of July 16th, officers followed numerous leads using a variety of investigative tools and determined that the vehicle may be in the state of Nebraska. That information was immediately relayed to the Nebraska State Patrol, and at 1:50 a.m., a Nebraska State Trooper spotted the vehicle on I-80 near Lincoln, Nebraska. The trooper attempted a traffic stop and the driver refused to yield. The trooper initiated a pursuit which lasted approximately 8 miles and concluded with the vehicle crashing down a steep embankment and into a creek. The driver then immediately fled on foot. Additional troopers arrived at the crash scene and checked the vehicle. During that check, a deceased woman who was found in the back seat area who had similar physical and age descriptors to the missing subject from Dodgeville. Investigators in Nebraska are currently working to determine a positive identification of the deceased. We will not be identifying that individual until we receive a conclusive confirmation. Through extensive efforts by the Nebraska State Patrol, a massive manhunt was also initiated for the suspect who fled on foot from the vehicle. After approximately 4 hours, Gavin Thompson, age 23, of Dodgeville, Wisconsin, was arrested by authorities in Nebraska and transported to the Lancaster County Jail, which is also in Nebraska, for charges of flight to avoid arrest, willful, reckless driving, and there are additional other charges that are pending from our agency and likely theirs. The Dodgeville Police Department is working in conjunction with the Nebraska State Patrol to ensure that all investigative efforts are made in both Nebraska and Wisconsin. We currently have law enforcement from Iowa County en route to Nebraska to assist in those investigative leads. At this time, this appears to be a random act of violence, and we do not believe there is an ongoing threat to the public in relation to this case. Investigators will be working around the clock to ensure that criminal acts are thoroughly investigated and that accurate information is conveyed to the public as soon as reasonable, while also respecting the wishes of the families involved.
And we'll have more coverage of this story throughout our newscast. You can stay with us right here on News 3 Now. You can also check channel3000.com and our free mobile app for alerts.
Now let's head back to continuing coverage of today's severe weather. We have a compilation of videos we've received all day from the viewers. We want to thank everyone and also thank them for keeping themselves safe who sent videos and pictures to us. And if you want to send us your videos or photos, please email tips@channel3000.com.
And let's get back to Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. He and Blaze have been monitoring the weather all day. Alex, what can you tell us?
Everything started at approximately noon today. We have this rotating weather system moving through, and pretty much every storm that has popped up has gone tornado warned or severe thunderstorm warned at some point in time. We have one severe thunderstorm warning left out there right now, which is good news that we've seen the number of warnings significantly go down. And this is for Jefferson County. This is for radar indicated winds of upwards of 60 miles per hour. This is moving off towards the east, heading towards the Oconomowoc area as we head towards 450 and then getting out of the WISC viewing area. So it's very much in the center part of Jefferson County, just north and east of the town of Jefferson, and that's moving off towards the east at around 30 to 40 miles per hour. When we look at our wind tracker tool, we're not seeing very bright greens against bright reds. So what that means is rotation has come down somewhat. We'll keep a close eye on that, and certainly seeing the bright colors go down as well. That means the winds are also going down as well as I use our wind tracker tool, looking at winds according to the radar here in Jefferson County, maybe 20 to 30 miles per hour. And the National Weather Service is also mentioning that they're seeing a downward tick in the strength of that thunderstorm in Jefferson County. Although the threat is not completely over, this line of thunderstorms will take a little bit of time yet to exit fully southern Wisconsin. So we still have that threat there for the next couple of hours till approximately 7 p.m. And then that threat should eventually move off to the east over portions of Lake Michigan, and then southern Wisconsin will be in the clear. A little bit later in the newscast, I'll let you know about the weather for Thursday and if we have more storms in the forecast for Thursday. That's coming up when you see me next.
All right, thank you, Alex. And now let's head out to Tanasia Shaw, who is in Dodgeville.
Good afternoon, Tanasia. What are you seeing out there now?
Hi, Brady and Sarah. This is what I'm seeing right now, even more branches than what I showed you earlier. Take a look at this. So these are a few, and then back there some more, and then as you see below on the grass, there's more and more. And then we can even take a look closer down this farther, I should say, down this road. More branches. When I look up at the trees, I just see so many branches that are down. We can't even tell which trees that these branches particularly came from. And like I said earlier, I did get a chance to talk to neighbors and the homeowner of this property. Actually, they're very eco-friendly, and they planted all these trees to make sure that they're taking care of the environment. And he told me that when he saw what the storm did to 27 of his trees that he counted, that he was very depressed.
We have 27 trees down, unfortunately. We've tried to do our best to create a sustainable farm here, and part of that is tree management. So we're really proud of the trees that we have. And the storm came, and we were really hoping we weren't going to get hit, but we were in the direct line of it, and we now have at least 27 trees down.
And then behind me, you can even see more of those 27 trees that are down. About 30 minutes ago, I was on the other side of the property where we were able to see the bark just layering off these trees, really getting a depth look of the damage left behind from these storms here in Dodgeville. Now, he also talked about how the neighbors in the Dodgeville community helped him clean up. So even though he's very depressed and, sad about his investment being wasted within seconds, he's happy that his community was able to come together to support him. I'll have more on that at 5 and 6 p.m. tonight.
Tanasia, thank you. And of course, our hearts go out to everyone who has damage and is trying to clean up from today's storms. And you can track storms for yourself with the First Warn Weather app. It has hourly planners and radar. And you can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather.
And here's a reminder that later on Live at 4, Lisa Briggs will be here to answer your plant questions. Send them to us over email tips@channel3000.com. Lisa will join us in our next half hour, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Despite today's severe weather, we are still talking plants.
And we're already seeing damage, but hopefully your gardens and your yards are in okay shape after today. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here to take some plant questions.
Hi.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome.
What a day.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy out there today.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for people who we saw all that tree damage?
Yes.
If they have stuff like that, what are the steps they can take?
So what you want to do first is go online and look at a video or a photo of of a flush cut. So you want to remove any jagged branches or just clean that up so there's a nice clean cut so the tree can heal. As far as putting things on like pruning paint or things like that, only do that if you have damage on oaks. Pruning paint doesn't really do very much good. It's not terrible, but it's not something that you need to do. Oaks though, however, because we're prime oak wilt vector season right now, you'll want to be able to stop any sap from flowing out of that wound. That's what the beetles are attracted to.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we have one question from a woman named Carol. It's an interesting one, a little more on the light note here. She asks if there's anything she can do other than Vicks Vapor Rub. And what we hadn't heard of this, to keep squirrels away from the planters.
So we've seen a lot of not only squirrel damage to planters, but also birds will go in there and pull things out. Other birds will nest in your planters. I have not heard of anybody using Vicks Vapor Rub. I've heard of a lot of uses for Vicks Vapor Rub, but that is a new one. What I generally like to do is, for myself, is do a scent repellent, which I suppose the Vicks would do. It does have that really sharp menthol-y scent. I usually use like a predator urine granular product. So something like fox or coyote, something that the squirrels are afraid of. You could also use a site barrier, so a little garden stake with some Mylar scare tape on it, or I've seen people use like old CDs. It's a use for those old CDs that you have kept all these years and there's no reason why you're ever going to play them again. So just something to sort of flash and distract.
Yeah. Interesting.
But Vicks Vapor Rub, yeah.
I'm with the squirrels. When I was really little and the Vicks would come out when I was sick, I would also run away. I didn't like it.
Oh, I actually like it. So.
It's kind of soothing.
Nice for the flowers.
I did hear somebody tell me that if you put it on the bottom of your feet, it prevents colds.
Yes. Yeah. The more you know.
Exactly.
Thank you, Lisa.
Multi-use product.
Dr. Lisa.
Yes, thank you, Lisa, so
much. Thank you, guys.
And coming up on Live at 4, Alex will have your complete forecast.
And we continue to take a look at the storm videos that you've been sending, just like this one. We'll be right back. We want to run a quick correction to the Dodgeville missing persons story. The Iowa County Sheriff's Office has yet to officially confirm who the woman found dead in the vehicle in Nebraska is. We previously ran this story saying the woman found was 67-year-old Dorinda Sedgebrecht from Dodgeville. Again, the Iowa County Sheriff's Office has yet to officially confirm that, though this is part of that investigation, and it was her car related to this case. But we will bring you more updates as we get them.
And now it's time to take another look at our first warn forecast. What is the latest, Alex?
I have good news, Sarah. Brady, southern Wisconsin. Right now, radar 3000 showing that line of thunderstorms no longer severe warn, stretching from the Lomira area down to Iron Ridge, down to Oconomowoc, and then this will move east and get out of the WISC viewing area. As we zoom out and look at the rest of southern Wisconsin, a few showers along the southern part of Dane County, but not seeing anything severe at this point behind this line, and that certainly could be some very good news, or it is good news for southern Wisconsin. Future track updating here, taking the bulk of the shower and thunderstorm activity out of the entire area by the time we head towards 7, 8 o'clock at night. Can't rule out here a couple of pop-up showers and storms as we head towards 6 o'clock, and we'll keep certainly a close eye on those showers and thunderstorms on radar 3000. But the main threat for in terms of alert day conditions would be from now until about 7 p.m. But my gut is starting to tell me that I think the primary threat of severe weather is now shifting off towards the east over towards Lake Michigan. And then this is what we can expect for the rest of the night tonight. Quiet conditions, a little bit of fog will likely build into the area. Look at these lows in the lower 60s, maybe some upper 50s for parts of the area. We had concerts on the square move to Thursday. What is Thursday looking like? A high of 71 degrees. So this is certainly good news in light of what has been a very busy afternoon of severe weather. Nothing like that tomorrow. Skies we eventually will clear on out as we head into Thursday. And from beyond Thursday, 77 for high temperature on Friday, 79 on Saturday. And we start to work our temperatures back up into the 80s next week and lows near 70. That's going to provide that fuel for more showers and more thunderstorms pretty much every day as we go out into next week, and we'll keep an eye out for the potential threat for severe weather as we go out into next week. Hopefully nothing like what we experienced today. This was near Sauk City today. You can see that tornado and that whole condensation funnel reaching all the way to the ground in the form of a tornado. Very dramatic footage as you see those vortices, that air being drawn right up into the tornado. We appreciate you taking this photo, and this video here, one of multiple videos and photos that we've received of tornadoes this afternoon that started at around 12 o'clock. But I want southern Wisconsin to rest assured right now that there are no severe warnings currently in the area, and hopefully that stays the case for the rest of this evening. We'll be right back.
Boy, have you had a, sorry.
Oh, no, it's been that kind of day.
It has a busy one for the morning.
Yes,
for sure.
Sorry for interrupting. Starting at noon, we had these thunderstorms popping up and immediately went into that rotating mode because we have this rotating feature in southern Wisconsin called a mesoconvective vortex. You can just think of that as an area of low pressure, and that's what caused many of these thunderstorms to rotate almost immediately. Here we're seeing a tornado. I think this one is near the Sauk City area. We appreciate that picture. This is a wall cloud with, in the very center of that, in the far background, likely a tornado. Here we've got another tornado. I think this was also taken near the Sauk City area in the background there with that tornado condensation making it all the way to the ground. I think this is just a repeat of that same video, but we have had tornadoes reported across much of southern Wisconsin. The good news is that threat is going down now.
Sounds good to me. All right, thanks everyone. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on Live at 4, Josh Spreiter is at the Greene County Fair. He shows us what you can expect from that event in Monroe. Should be a fun one. Later on News 3 Now at 5, storm damage coverage. Look at this. Our crews are out live showing us how today's storms impacted all the local communities.